Yeah, I'm building a new layout and I made a logo for it and it might look familiar. It's total rip-off copy. Um, so here's the design of my layout. Hopefully Lance Mindheim would approve. Um, and so it's a 17 by 11 foot around the walls layout. And at this point in time of this presentation for you today, I have this part of the bench work done and I'm working on laying track down, and I've kind of placed my old mine mill over here in the corner that I made a presentation to the NMRA. That was like one of the first things I did when Martin was superintendent, how I built that thing. So I'll show this corner here at the end. So uh, how the light worked out. And here's a side view of the height. So the height is 50 inches to the sub base there, and then it's about 2'4" wide around there. And to handle all the storage and everything, I had to build these shelves, which I showed last year how I built those. But these are some shelves, and it doubles as a lighting valance. And the lights go up here in the corner underneath the shelf. So I thought that was kind of a nice thing to be able to do. And then, so here's the lighting plan of the room. There's the door, here's the window, here's that yard area. And what I settled on was this Tata Zone LED strips to go under there. By the door, there's a light switch and there's an outlet down here. And so this is where the power will came from. And this system came with 2 reels of LED tape. And so one of the reels, we draw power and connect it there. And so here's one of the LED strips connected across here. And then the other LED strip goes here and comes across and gets itself connected across there. So there's 2 LED strips with this little system. I also had some track lights from my old that was already in here, and I repositioned those to be right like down the center of the room. And it was kind of nice that there was a rafter right there that I could drill into. And there was already a light fixture right in the center of the room. So when I built the room, I had 2 lights switches wired up, one for the track lights and one for the fixture that was already here. So those 2 switches are there. So that just kind of lights up the room in general. So here's a little zoom in on where the track lights are, and I position them pretty evenly in the room. And so here's the LED tapes I chose. And what was cool about this is it wasn't too much money, and it came with enough strip to cover what I needed, and it came with the power supply, the controller, and you can adjust everything from cold white light, warm light. You can infinitely adjust the temperature, and then you can also make other colors as well, like red and blue and anything you want. And it wasn't too much money either. You can also download an app and get any color you want using an app. And it has this music mode too. So when you want to party, you can have it, play music and the lights will change colors and stuff like that.
Very disco.
Yes, indeed. My daughter's a theater lighting technician, and she said, "Oh, you gotta get diffusers for this. You'll really want that." And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds like a good idea." And so I did that too. And so these are these LED channels that have a diffusing top to them, and they come with clips and screws. And the plywood I used on my shelving, I had to end up cutting the screws short so they wouldn't poke through the top. So that was kind of an adventure there. And so a little close up here of what LED, if you haven't used LED tape, this is kind of what it looks like. And these are all kind of universal fit with any company's LED light strip tape. And most of those tapes where it comes with an adhesive backing, so you would pull off the adhesive and lay it down in the channel and uh, mount it that way if you want. And here's sort of the idea of the diffuser. So it's not perfect like this, but you can see there is some variation, but it definitely evens out the light. It's pretty nice to have, I think. So to bring the power down the wall, I bought these cord hiders. These are kind of cool, and they come with an adhesive bag. You just stick it to the wall, and I'll show you that. It's pretty neat. And then I had to buy an extension cord, and I got two just in case you want to run it longer, but you can find a use for these. It wasn't too much money. So here's the room on this side before I put the shelving in. And this is where the track lights that I had, ancient track lights that I've had for years, how I had those on the ceiling, they're kind of popping off and everything. And so I remounted those. And here's the view up into the ceiling, and they're straight across the majority of the room. And these are cool because you can point them, various ways and change them around a little bit. And so this fixture's on one light switch, and then the track lights are on another light switch. Talking about lighting in that room, these are some tubular skylights. So this is like free light right here. And I kind of kicking myself a little bit that I tried to be architectural and offsetting those when I designed the addition, but that's what you're sort of stuck with. So, but those are really nice to have in the room when it's daylight out. So here is a shelf that I on one side, just what it looks like along here, and then the lights go up in the corner there. And so what I did was I ran aluminum reflective tape along the inside, and I ended up doing the whole width of the wood with reflective tape to kind of bounce any other light around. And there's a clip screwed in, and then here's what it looks like when the channel is put in. And yeah, I ended up running that reflective tape everywhere on the inside there. And then here's what it looks like all like lit up. The first strip I ran the whole light strip. I didn't cut anything. I ran it around the edge and ran it around the back there, and I turned it on and I go, whoa, I didn't think about this. And if you look over here on the left side, you can see this weird lighting effect, sort of weird shadows going on. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. And so you can see, I ran the lights this way and ran them that way, trying to get, all the light I could get out of it. Well, this support here that goes through here kind of makes a weird shadow. And so I spent quite a bit of time like blocking. Oh, what if I block these down here? And no, that's not enough. Block these. So it ended up looking best if I just took these out along this part of the uh, underneath there. And so I went ahead and cut the strips, and then put these connector wires. And it's kind of cool with this. They come with the clips in there, and you put the wires in, And here's all the connections for you know, the type of WWRGB light strip you need, and it'll clamp on and connect to the light strip like that. So I ran those around. So here's what it looks like with the clip running across, and I just ran it through one of the channels around the other side. And you can see that the shadowing looks a lot better. You can see it kind of got rid of everything. So here's where it ran around in there. And then here's by the door where it runs down to the power. So here's one of the strips coming around, connecting to the controller, and you can turn it on and off with this thing. And then here's the other strip runs along here and connects to the controller. And then here's that extension cord that runs down the wall through that holder. There's your two light switches, and it connects to the wall.
How bright were they without any of the lights on in the room?
With the LEDs,
Yes,
I'll show you.
great.
Wow, good question. Like right here. So yeah, and that's it. Everything there. So here's what it looks like so far, where I'm at right now with the layout. This is that mine mill that I'm repurposing, getting it. I'm gonna have to rebuild some things on it and change a little things here and there. Anyways, that'll be another topic for later. But this is the view, just the lights, no room lights, in the dark with the sun down, on cold. So this is the cold light. You can see it looks really daylighty, right? And then here it is under warm light, and you can just change it on that remote.
Which one of the light strips did you use? Do you remember how LEDs? They have different ones.
This Tata Zone, and the other reason why I picked that Tata Zone was that it didn't use a lot of watts. I mean, I think I'm pulling like 30 watts from all
Okay.
this.
That helps. Thank you.
24 volt, 30-watt system. And then what you can do is fool around with the colors. So here's red. And when the room light's on, it's real subtle. It looks like sunset, pretty cool. But this is the room lights off, you know, getting in. The camera having a little hard time with this red color.
Yeah, it's trying to compensate for it.
Yeah. And then you know, here it is under blue. So it's looking a little night, almost night. And you can turn it down too with this system. You can dim it and turn it up, and anything in between. So that's kind of fun. And then here I pull back a little bit just to show, right? So there's still a little bit of that shadowing going on, but once you get down into here, you don't even notice it when you're in the room. So thank goodness. So there you go. There's the lighting.
That's great.
Good work.
Well done.
Fun. Thank
Can you
you.
cut those
Just-
strips to any random length, or are there fixed minimum lengths you need to maintain?
I think you can cut them almost anywhere, but I cut them. They have these connections every, I don't know, 4 inches. That you can cut them like every 4 inches across the pads,
Right.
and that's what I did. I wasn't brave enough to cut it in the middle, but I think you could.
I'm not sure
And
because,
slice if you do.
yeah, I could be wrong on that.
You might lose.
It had to do with the resistors.
Yeah, you might lose that section, right? If you cut it in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
But you can definitely cut it on where the connector strips are.
Right.
So
Right.
every 4 to 6
inches, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good enough. Yeah.
Pretty neat product. Wow. You can do a lot of cool stuff with it.
Yeah. Paul Scholes, when he was putting in LEDs and stuff this number of years ago, and of course products have changed, and he was using room lights and accent lights and what have you. He had some issues in one area with shadows on the blue sky portion down towards his scenery, and so he would go back in and paint that. He put in mesas and
Uh-huh.
just painted in different colored rather than the blue, and the blue fading to white or to lighter blue. He would just go in and put a mesa there, and that's what told him where to put it in. And artistically, it did really well because the different colors of the mesa just broke that all up.
Right. Yeah. Good point. Yeah, you can definitely tell in the sky a little more. So yeah, maybe you can fake a cloud here or there where it looks like sun rays are coming down or something.
But again, the camera sees it differently than you do. So your point about, you wouldn't notice it. I think that it's not just you are adapting, but the difference between what the camera sees and you see.
Yeah,